Hello everyone, my name is Saye and welcome to another episode of sayehsunstudio. In this episode, I'm going to take you on a tour of the 2020 Canada Blooms Show. It's Canada's largest garden and flower festival. First held in 1997, it sees over 200,000 visitors each year. It's held over 10 days, which often falls on March break, so it's great for families. And it has a flower show, landscape gardens, and held in conjunction with the home show, so there's something for everyone. On Thursday, March 12, 2020, I was on site working on my designs for the flower show when, due to COVID-19 pandemic, all public gatherings, including Canada Blooms, were cancelled. Realizing how much passion, work, and money had gone into the show, I knew I had to document it for all those who had been so looking forward to seeing it. The flower show part can be seen in a separate video, but this one is dedicated to the beautiful gardens of Canada Blooms. So why don't you come with me as I take a walk through it? Right next to the area where I was preparing my entries was this beautiful aerial garden. This would have been right above you as you entered Canada Blooms, with all these gorgeous flowers hanging over you. And directly in front of you would have been Floral Alley, and that is where the top floral designers prepare beautiful designs. This year's theme was birds of a feather, so you'll notice that there's a birdie thing going on, even in the names of the gardens. People were moving things. There was still quite a bit of activity, but the show was essentially ready to open. It was a little heartbreaking, knowing how much work had gone into every single garden. I don't know the names of the gardens, they were hidden, covered up, but take a look. I'll try to describe it as I can. There were a lot of coral bells throughout the garden, and I thought it was very interesting in the way that they were even patterning the stone. And this cool structure, it's like an A-frame shelter. I could make that. It's really cool. Of course, the smell of the spring bulbs was just mesmerizing. Can't share that with you. Oh, shout out to Les Mess. I've gotten soil from them before. On the east side of the hall was a series of 5 small gardens with the theme Do Up the Doorsteps. And each garden was designed by a different landscape designer, and they were trying to show how you can maximize that little space you have in front of your house. It's pretty neat. Lots of great ideas. So as I head to the standalone garden, I can't wait to see what awaits me. There's a lovely pergola, some seating, horizontal fencing, which I'm seeing a lot of, and this garden is planted almost exclusively with succulents and drought-tolerant plants. I like that. Now this was an interesting garden, very geometrical, but also an abundance of coleus. And that is a really nice plant for your backyard. It's called a pear and a Par-terre, which whoever came up with that title, excellent on the pun department. Very inspirational, but as I was walking out, I had a little good feeling because it felt like I was home. Yes, Toronto Botanical Gardens, also known as my second home. I hang out there all the time. It is a fantastic place, and had a lovely booth. And again, very sad that despite all the preparations and the plants and the supplies and everything, they never had a chance to open and share it with the public. But they were ready to go. And of course, Botanical Bar, part of Botanical Garden, for a healthy snack, which again never opened. But that was nice to see them there. And this was an interesting dry stacked little wall with a Thunderbird design. And as I walked in around a little bit, I came across Celine's garden. Now, I don't know who Celine is, but I think we could be really good friends because her garden was just fantastic. Space for everything. Beautiful pool, 2 loungers there, exquisitely planted. We should each have a friend like Celine, honestly. The hydrangeas, I think those are boxwood, lots of hostas. Oh yeah, bar by the pool. Sounds about right. And after a few drinks, you can just walk over to this little sitting area. It's a really nice combination of the pink and blue hydrangeas. So as soon as I saw this garden, I knew that it was something special. It had such a nice balanced feeling. And it had a beautiful combination of spring bulbs, native plants, and of course, this beautiful witch hazel. Now at this point, my back was hurting like crazy. But this plant, I bent down and I looked at the label. That's how much I loved it. And the more I looked around, the more I realized that this was truly an exceptional garden. Now, who could have made such a garden like this? Complete with this beautiful pond, water feature. Everything fit nicely together, and there was even a little kitchen garden. So I am not of the belief that you have to separate your edibles from your regular garden, and this was a really nice approach that I liked. And when I started looking at the shed, the answer was clear. It could only come from Canadian gardening guru Mark Cullen, and that was his potting shed, complete with this moss roof. And then this would have been the stage where so many events would have happened. The Isuzu Garden Solution stage. Of course, being in Canada Blooms, the stage has to be surrounded by fantastic plants. Two fantastic plants, hellebores and this flowering almond. Okay, this was a second plant. I looked at the label. How do you even get it to bloom so perfectly at the right time? And walking through another garden, again, beautiful. I don't have the name of this one, but hey, it's the one with the hot tub and barbecue. And this was very soothing because it had this whole curtain of water. Very beautiful. Very soothing. And of course, the horizontal fencing again. A really interesting thing was the tiny homes and gardens section. Now, I did feel a little awkward, like I didn't want to trespass or anything. I should have gone in for a closer look, but I was also really wiped out at this point. But knowing how much the tiny house movement is gaining traction, it is so nice to see people actually thinking about gardening solutions for that as well. And then I came across this. It was like, what is that? If somebody put a fence, that means I really need to go check it out. And it was a natural playground. I think you know who. So this beautiful structure, completely out of natural wood. And the beautiful solid carved bench. That's about as far as my curiosity would take me. I felt a little awkward. Now I think I know what I want for Christmas. A tree moving spade. Man, you could move entire trees like you move furniture. And as I begin to wrap up my tour, there are another 4 small do up the doorsteps garden on the west side. Again, beautiful to see how other people had envisioned little front doorstep gardens. One of the most memorable moments of my walkthrough was when I had a chance to speak with the designer of this garden, Jodie Munshaw. She had drawn inspiration from the theme of the show, Birds of a Feather, and tried to make the garden attractive to both people and birds. For the people, she had beautiful artwork from a local artist and a cozy fire pit. And for the birds, a water feature, lots of native plants, and these adorable birdhouses that had been painted by students of a local Montessori school. Now, which bird wouldn't want to hang out here? One exhibit that I'd been looking forward to was the gnomes that had been painted by celebrities and artists and were up for bid in a silent auction to raise funds for Gilda's Club, Greater Toronto. They would have been displayed outside the main entrance, a bit like this. Since it would be such a shame for you not to see the stunning creations, I want to end this tour by sharing them with you. I belong to the Garden Club of Toronto, and it's involved in so many wonderful projects, including organizing this gnome garden and silent auction, which was led by my friend Margaret Taylor and a dedicated team across so many organizations. Gilda's Club is a registered charity named after Saturday Night Live's Gilda Radner. Its slogan is, "So that no one faces cancer alone." And it offers inclusive programs of support, education, and social interaction for the whole family free of charge. So I'm going to end my little tour with a thank you to so many who donated their time and talent to make it happen. Now, I don't know when the silent auction will actually take place now, but now that you've seen these beauties, I'm sure you're going to keep your eyes open for the opportunity. So my friends, we've reached the end of the tour, but I have to give a thanks to my friends Mary Lou and Margaret for sending me additional pictures for this video. And please remember, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click that bell to get notifications of new videos as they come out. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and whatever you do, stay safe, my friends. Until next time, happy growing.